What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Whop Media YouTube channel. My name is Sean Bernard as usual, and I'm excited to announce that for this video, we have partnered with Whop.com, WHOP.com. Whop is an all-in-one marketplace for sports communities and other digital products. If you're looking to find communities on all things sports, sports capping, sports betting, and sports fandom, head to Whop.com/sports. They're the all-in-one digital marketplace, the Amazon of the future for digital products. I'm incredibly proud and excited to be partnering, so make sure to go check that out. You can click the link in our description and our comments. Thank you to Whop for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for tuning in.
Hello again. Welcome back to the Flyin Syle Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Mitchell, back with my co-host, Stephen Masley.
What's up, boys and girls?
And today I wanted to start out the episode a little bit differently. I just wanted to give a shout out to Damar Hamlin. I wanted to ask everyone to continue to give their support and prayers for him and his family. Obviously, that situation is something that nobody ever wants to see, and it's a scary sight. And everybody in the football community is on his side. And like I said, please just continue to give his support to the Bills family, to his family. And, all we can do is keep on showing as much love as possible until we get some more updates.
Yeah, I mean, at this point when we're recording this, the latest update we got is still critical condition. We saw a tweet from his friend saying that his vitals are stable, but however, he's still sedated with the breathing tube. But we're just hoping for the best. Hopefully he can be able to get stable, wake up, and they're slowly trying to bring him out of that seduced coma, I guess medically seduced coma.
Yes, they do it. They do it on purpose. They use the sedation to level out his vitals, and then once they take him off of the sedation, that will give them the idea of whether his vitals are healthy or not. So that's going to be, I believe they said they will not take him off of the sedation until tomorrow. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll get some updates, but that will be the family's decision to decide. So yeah, I'm sure they won't take long to give out updates, considering just about the entire country's waiting for the news.
I just hope he's all right, man. That looked like a normal hit, but just had to be. It was just at the wrong time. Just a split second. Every half of a second hit in that spot of his chest, and it was just brutal. And prayers out to him. Hopefully he's better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, it's bigger than football. It's not a game when somebody's life comes into play. And I'm glad the NFL made the right decision to postpone the game and likely not play it. It's really just devastating, and we're all praying for him.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, let's jump into our regularly scheduled program here. And we're coming back this week with a pretty pitiful loss from the Eagles, 20-10 against the Saints. We are now 13-3 on the season. Masley, what are your initial thoughts on the game?
So my initial thoughts, looking back at the game, I was very angry during the game. But looking back at the entire game, this reminded me of the Colts game, honestly, without Hurts, basically. We started off, they went right down the field. We're playing a soft zone, and it was very frustrating. They're able to run the ball. They're able to just hit the targets, just go straight down the field. And it was frustrating. And even at the end of the day, our defense stepped up just like they did in the Colts game. And they only gave up 14 points. I know Gardner Minshew in the last 5 minutes threw that pick six, which was horrific, but our defense has 7 sacks on the day, played terrific. I know Josh Sweat got hurt early. That wasn't fun seeing that. Thank God he's okay, because that was another neck injury that was a little nerve-wracking. But it was a frustrating game to watch. We didn't get a first down. Like the majority of the first half, it was like we were just going 3 and out. I think our entire game we're 3 for 12 on third down. It was just like, it was so frustrating to watch, especially the first half. When we first got the first down, it felt like we actually got a touchdown. Like I couldn't even hope for points at like the first quarter. It was just like, can we get a first down? And
it was really hard to watch considering the team we've watched all year this year. Obviously it's different when you have your backup quarterback in, but there was a lot that went wrong. I want to point out first that the defense did not play as bad as many would say they did. Like Masley said, they only let up 14 points, and that should win you an NFL game any day of the week. And second of all, they did start out a little bit slow. They started out without allowing an incompletion for the first 2 drives, which was infuriating. But after that point, they stepped it up, and they got a lot of sacks. The D-line was doing their thing, and it's just it comes down to the offense and the offensive play calling, really. I was devastated when I looked at the halftime stats to see Miles Sanders with 2 carries for 9 yards at halftime. That's just despicable. Like, actually, it's making me mad just thinking about it right now. Like, what the hell are you thinking? Like, there's no good answer or reason for that to happen. We have literally we've barely touched him since he got 1,000 yards on the season. And we've had our backup quarterback in for that time. Why the hell are we not using our running back? It just doesn't make any sense, let alone the fact that New Orleans has a top 6 defense in the passing game and a bottom 23 defense in the rushing game. Why the hell are we not running the ball? It's actually really infuriating me at this point. And Steichen's play calling has really just not been good with Minshew in the backfield.
It was brutal, dude. And it's like even us giving up 14 points, or I guess we gave up 13 technically. Then defense, yeah, they gave up 13. They gave up 2 field goals, and they gave up They get no points let up by the defense in the second half. Like, it just, how do you put him back there when you see on tape like Tom Brady not even be able to get a pass off, and they're just blitzing, they're coming at you, and you can't run. They couldn't even run a screen right. They couldn't do anything right. The most infuriating, even at the end, was the 4th and forever, and we throw it like 10 yards short of the sticks, and I was like, this is what you got to try to even like give any.
That's what you came up with, like, for
that's
real?
How you end the game. Yeah, you throw throw a little curl route to Devonta, and you're like, all right, padded stats for 15 yards. He ended up looking good, but like, I didn't know he had 115 yards on the game. Like, I didn't see anything. Like, it's just so infuriating.
Obviously, considering that we have played so well this season, we obviously have leeway and still have a chance to take over this 1 seed going into next week. So it's not the end of the world, but this is a game that we really didn't want to lose. It allowed, like, now it's a win or don't get a bye. The Saints get a better pick now.
Yeah, and that was the worst part for me.
That's a game that we needed. We needed to win. Like, that one hurts. That one hurts a lot because that's a game that we had no business losing, and we once again did it to ourselves, and it's driving me nuts. It concerns me with this team is so good, but if our play calling isn't there, we're not. Like, I don't, and it's like, I don't even think it's the players' fault. I mean, obviously it really hurts to have, CJ Gardner out and Josiah Scott out. And that's why not Josiah Scott, Avonte Maddox. That's why we're running all the soft zones and allowing a lot of completions. Those are 2 key guys on the defense, and it's hard to play without them. But it doesn't mean just, leave Josiah. I mean, I'm glad he finally got a pick, but leave Josiah Scott with no help and running these soft zones where everybody's so spread out. And, it's the play calling has just really been giving me headaches, man. I don't know what to say about it anymore.
It was brutal. And I just don't understand, especially they're trying to run a similar offense as if Hurts is the quarterback, and Minshew will never be an MVP caliber quarterback. He never has in his career, and that's why he's a backup. He's a solid backup, and we watched him do that in a Cowboys game. But you have to be able to establish the run in order to open up play action. You have to be able to, like, open up him, just not drop him back in the pocket where he has to make every decision, and he's not that guy. And he's obviously had them as starting all year. And okay, he played well last game, but that doesn't mean anything. It's a complete they have more tape on him. It's a lot of these things happen, especially with backup quarterbacks. You'll see a guy come in the game and he'll do really well. And then the next week they're like, oh, here's his tendency to do this. Here's his tendency to do that. Because they actually have film on the guy, because that's the first time they ever saw him all year. And then they're like, and then you try to do the same type of play calling. Like, it was ridiculous, dude. I just don't understand. We can't even line up under center of Minshew. Like, I don't I don't know how you just have the same game plan. I don't know the game plan going in, and I don't know if they even changed it. It was just frustrating.
It is. It's really frustrating, and it's like I mentioned it in the last podcast when we were playing the Cowboys game that we were running the read option, but at no point did anyone expect Minshew to take that damn ball.
No.
So like why are we running the same playbook for a running quarterback that isn't going to run? And on top of that, the one thing I'm glad to see is the fact that we're not going to have a classic Philadelphia situation of, oh, who are we going to play now? He did so good. Like, it's clear cut that Jalen Hurts is our MVP quarterback, leader, everything to this team, and Minshew cannot hold a candle, and we are not the same team with Minshew at the board. And it's not just because of Jalen Hurts' play, but also because of his leadership, and people are really not focusing on that. Since Hurts has been off the field, we have not had anyone step up and be a leader. I haven't noticed it on the sidelines. I haven't noticed it post-game, pre-game, nothing. That leadership and that drive, that competitive drive that he brings isn't on the field right now. And it's showing.
No, it's brutal. And you're seeing some plays for everyone who's, I'm going to refer to the play of when we got the touchdown and Lane Johnson basically pancakes a dude and
not Lane, Landon Dickerson.
Landon Dickerson. Sorry. Lane Johnson's out. Landon Dickerson pancakes a dude and they call it holding. Obviously, we had a touchdown on the play and ended up with a field goal. But I'm not blaming any of that on like the refs at all in this game. We had so many chances to like establish a game call or establish a game plan, establish anything. And we just, especially in the first half and the fourth quarter, we weren't able to do anything. And this defense isn't outstanding. Yes, they got Lattimore back. And yes, you saw it at the end. Obviously, they had Lattimore back. And obviously, Tyrann Mathieu's healthy. This defense was getting healthy. It was annoying because then I was like, oh, crap, there's Lattimore. That's why you're not throwing A.J. Brown. And then they were just like scared of him. I mean, obviously, they're a talented defense, but there's no reason not to run the ball. You run the ball 14 times total, 12 with Miles, 2 with Boston Scott, and then Gardner Minshew got to run probably because he just fell forward, didn't even get a yard. I just don't understand why we didn't take this game. Like, we could have had it locked up. I'm not saying we don't have it locked up because we're going to get into the Giants, but now you leave it open for what ifs. If Dallas wins and we lose this week, we don't have the 1 seed. First of all, we're in a wild card
division.
Exactly. We lose the entire division. Like, it's how
if we happen to lose the division after going 10-0, I'm gonna be really, really upset. Like, and like it's kind of blasphemous. It's crazy. Like, it's just that this game had no business happening the way it did, and it's just frustrating to see that the coaches. It just feels like they don't make any damn adjustments ever. And it really frustrates the hell out of me. And I've made that clear on this podcast all freaking year. And dude, it's killing me.
And the worst part about it is, to me, honestly, about teams like getting hot. Like, look at the Packers now. They're blazing hot. You want to go into a playoff run hot. And we're going ice cold. These are our first 2 losses in a row. Obviously, 2 of the 3 losses we have. And, like, Bills are hot. The Bengals are red hot. The Chiefs have been up and down, but they've been hot lately.
Now, my one point to that is that I want to say that when Hurts was playing, we did get hot. That's obviously him coming out killed that, and that's something you can't predict. But
that's true.
It's still it doesn't matter. We are where we are now. But one more thing I want to say is that there is something that I do like about the fact that we're going in like this, and it's the fact that everybody's treating us like underdogs again.
We don't have any expectations.
Yep. Everybody. I loved when everybody had us on top of the world. I agreed. I didn't see anything going wrong. Things went wrong, and now I feel like once we get Hurts back, we're not. That team's going to be the same. And the team didn't go anywhere. I just hope we get the chance to shock the world because I still think this team has the best chance to win the Super Bowl, and it's really up to them whether they want to win it or lose it. And I just, they're starting to throw me some worry. I'm definitely, I'm not horribly worried because we're using a backup quarterback right now, but do they love to make things freaking interesting. They just really can't make anything easy.
It's very annoying. And then you even get like coach of your odds, like Nick Sirianni's no longer odds on favorite, like blah blah blah. Like, and my Mike, our friend Mike texted me that, and I go, well, he shouldn't be. Like, I know we have a lot of injuries and stuff, and I know I'm just very being recency biased, but it's very aggravating to see a team that this talented even not even be able to like coach up Minshew or change the game plan to shift, pivot, like run Miles 24 times, run Gainwell another 5. I just don't understand how.
Not only should we have been running the ball 20 times with Miles Sanders while Hurts was in, but
how do you not?
While Minshew's in and he's still not getting touches is actually unbelievable from a coaching perspective. And I really just don't understand what they're even like looking at. Like it literally just doesn't make even a lick of sense from a football perspective. Like it just doesn't. Like and Sirianni always loves to talk about how he loves to integrate the run game. I don't freaking see it.
I don't either.
I'm trying so hard not to curse right now. I've almost cursed like 10 times. Like it's so frustrating to watch this team just do the same thing over and over again and not learn from it. Like it's a simple freaking recipe. Like,
dude, like even like I saw the frustration in like Kelsey's face. Sometimes you get up from a block, he would just get angry. I saw Reddick make a sack and literally like get angry, like just like, come on, like can we do something on the other side? Like basically like shaking his head.
Dude,
like
Miles Sanders had 5.1 yards per carry with like a yard of that coming off in the fourth quarter because we were just kind of like, like he had 12 carries in the game. Like 5 of those, 6 of those came in the fourth quarter, when it's far too late. And, like when your running back's averaging 6 yards per carry, while your backup quarterback is in and struggling nonetheless.
You got to give him some help. You can't just be like, all right, he sucks.
It's not rocket science, man. Like it really isn't. Like what are they looking at?
And I know Lane Johnson's out, but like, guess what? The rest of the 4 out of other 5 guys, not named Derek Driscoll, are gonna be in the Pro Bowl / alternates for the Pro Bowl. Like, how do you not just like? And Driscoll's not that bad either. Like, I know he's not Lane, but like, really, I just don't understand it.
It's really just it's just frustrating because it's not the end of the world. It's not upsetting. It's not like it's not going to kill us. It's just frustrating.
And then we're gonna pivot into this week. We're playing the Giants. We're 14-point favorites because they don't have anywhere to move. They're not gonna be starting anybody. And I want to see us just dominate them and murder them like the Cowboys did to us when we had nobody. And was that last year? Yeah, that was last year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I want to see that. I want to see us do that, honestly, and that won't even make me happy. I mean, it would make me just happy that we relieved. It will make me relieved if we do that. But like, it's just like, come on.
All I know is it'll make me very upset if we decide not to play Hurts this week because he hasn't been ruled officially in yet. But my problem is that he said to the media that he was ready last week. So if we don't play him this week, going for a first round bye, and they just want to rest him for the playoffs, I'm done with this coaching staff. I will be done with this coaching staff if they make that decision because we need to win this game. This is now a must-win scenario. We don't have a choice.
And I'm always
well, I shouldn't say that because we are obviously in the playoffs, but man, if we screw this up so royally like that, it'll make it hard to watch the playoffs, man. Like it'll make it hard to follow this team because
if we lose next week,
I don't mean that seriously. I'm always a diehard Eagles fan. I'm obviously just very frustrated with the way they're handling these last few games because they're both so freaking winnable, and
if we lose this week, we lose in the first round. And I'm dead serious about that.
All right, well, that's excessive because we will have Hurts back. And
if we lose this week?
No, dude.
We're not playing anybody.
We also don't know that for a fact either. Where it is still an assumption. It's a very easy assumption considering they don't have anywhere to move up or down in the seating. They don't have any reason to play their starters. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure Daniel Jones just happened to give the team off without telling the coach, and the coach was just fine with it. So on a week that relaxed, I have to assume they're not playing their starters. But it's just frustrating to watch the way we've been handling it.
I think we should come out and be firing this week. I think it'll be okay. We're back home. It's going to be a 4:25 game. Of course, they flexed it during the Cowboys game. So all eyes are just going to be on the scoreboard to make sure the Cowboys are, I guess, whatever. If they're losing, then I guess maybe we'll take our foot. I don't know what they're going to do. It's just annoying. I just want them just to focus on this game and murder them and then have the 1 seed. You control your own destiny here. And there's
I do have a strong feeling if we take a strong lead going into the half, they'll probably sit Hurts.
That's fine. If it's 21 plus, Matt, I am fine with it.
Me too. Absolutely.
I will. And then if they come out and score a touchdown in the first drive, I don't even think they're going to take him out to the third because I just want him. Also, another point, even if we won't have Minshew this week, so he sat out Dallas week, he sat out the Saints game, going to sit out this game, then we have a bye, and then he's playing. That's going to be a month of him not playing NFL football.
I've talked to we obviously bring up Mike on this podcast a lot. He's a good friend of ours, one of our favorites to talk about sports with. I was just talking to him about the same thing, and it's not like it's not doable because he's practicing every day and still in it. But by no means do we want our quarterback coming in with 5 weeks of rest and not no sort of momentum into the playoffs. It's silly. It's silly in every way. And even, I almost hate to say this, but in the situation we're in with everything going on, I don't even care if Hurts is 100%. He's got to play this game.
Yeah,
he has to.
I have to agree. And if he has to be at least, obviously he has to be at least 95%.
Yeah. And, I hate that we put ourselves in this position because I've been saying my whole thing since he's been hurt has been don't play him until he's 100%. But now we left ourselves with no freaking choice.
You have to play him. He has to play. Even if he's he has to be playing. He has to be a starter. And I think this is only going to be good for Hurts. Just to be able to bring the team back together. I think he's the one, like you just mentioned, that glues the team back together. And I think him coming in, because he's pissed off. You can see him on the sideline.
I was going to say the same thing.
So angry. And I think he's going to be very just fired up, very focused to just drive this team because
if everything goes the way I hope it does, I expect Hurts to come in here angry, pissed off, and ready to dominate. He'll walk in, dominate the game, and give this team the jolt that says, wow, this is what we've been missing. We're back.
I expect him to do it with a straight face, too. And then when Sirianni tells him to sit down, I think he's going to still keep walking back out and try to go for another play until someone drags him and goes, no, you're done. We don't need you anymore. Because I think he's that bad. I love Hurts. I freaking love him.
He's a competitor, man. I love it.
He's been saying it all year. Just how it's only been, I don't care. He's just been so good to the media just every single time. Just, oh, you're asking me about the Dallas game? We're playing the Bears this week. I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. Oh, you guys are 10-0. Yeah, I don't care. We have to win a national championship. Or, I mean, the
Super Bowl.
He referred to the national championship because he, when he didn't win it. But there's no point. There's no point of anything else. I mean, he's 100% right. And I love him. And I think he'll be able to bring us back together as our leader. And I see no reason for us not to kill this team.
I agree. So with that all being said, what would you put your score prediction at?
I think it's gonna be 42-10. I think we have to come out very strong. I think we put up 20. I think we put up at least 20 points in the first half. And I think our defense could be very angry. I think the only time the Giants score is going to be at the very end of the fourth, just garbage time crap. And I just there's no reason for us not to kill this team. Murder.
I agree. And, I'm a little bit in between on two scores. So my apologies for cheating a little bit, but I'm going to say that we're either going to win 35 or 42-3. I agree with you with their backup quarterback in, all their backups in, with our starters playing. It wouldn't make much sense for us not to kill them. And I'd be pretty upset if we didn't. So I'm going to say that we're going to kill them as well.
Do you know who their backup quarterback is?
No idea. No.
Guess who it is? It's Tyrod Taylor.
Is it I can't remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, really? I was gonna guess Rosen, Josh Rosen.
Yeah, that's another one. That would be even better because we had picked him off 10 times. Well, Tyrod would be like good this game for no reason.
Well, Tyrod's not bad, so that is a little more concerning. I'll take away my 3-point call and I'll say they're gonna get 10.
Yeah.
But
even
with all of this, these past 2 weeks, obviously we talked through everything. Not a whole lot to talk about going to the Giants week because it's just bottom line, we got to win it, and they're not playing their starters. Pudding's on the plate. But if you had a choice out of the seeding in the NFC, who would you want to play?
Who would I want to play?
Assume we get the 1 seed.
Are you assuming? Can I assume someone gets in? Because I want to. I mean, first of all, I want to play the Giants. There's no question about that. But I don't want to play Green Bay. I'd rather play Seattle or Detroit, honestly. Just because Aaron Rodgers, I know we beat them earlier this year, but they've just been very good, and they have like this weird momentum thing that they're just going. Jair Alexander shut down Justin Jefferson for absolutely nothing. Their kick return is doing fantastic. Aaron Rodgers playing well.
Championship.
That was brutal. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say, but out of like San Fran, Minnesota, and Tampa Bay, I mean, I would have to say Minnesota just be how they've been playing. They've been playing.
Absolutely, I'd rather play Minnesota.
Football.
We talked about it before the podcast started. If you change who scored the last score in the 1 possession games this year, the Vikings are 1-15.
They're brutal. Their 4 losses have all been blowouts. To us, the Cowboys killed them. Well, Detroit wasn't a blowout, but Detroit was winning the majority of that game. And then Green Bay just absolutely demolished them last week. They're all 1 possession games, and it's other than losses. It was a loss, and it's their offense is good, but their defense is not scaring me at all. That's why I don't want to play Tampa. I know Tampa hasn't looked great on offense. They looked good last week, but their defense, like their line, I love their linebackers. And I don't want to play Tom Brady.
Actually, there's part of me that disagrees with that. There's a part of me that kind of wants to play Tom Brady this time. Kind of not just based off of the way they've been playing this year. Obviously, nobody wants to play Tom Brady in the playoffs. But there's a part of me that wants revenge. And I think Jalen Hurts does too.
That's true.
Jalen Hurts came in inexperienced last year with not the same kind of team around him. This team is much better. I would love to see like a swap, from last year to this year, where the scores just switch around. That would be incredible. So I would like to play the Bucs. Obviously, the Giants would be nice. I wouldn't mind the Lions or the Packers. But
who are you? Who's the team that you're most scared of? Who would you not want to play in the NFC chip? Or just in general, not based off seeding. Like, who would you not want to play if we were to come down to that game in the NFC?
I think it's fairly easy to say the 49ers. 9-0 in their last 9 games. Brock Purdy has actually been incredible.
Yeah.
Their defense is scary. Their offense is scary. They're a scary team for sure. And the Cowboys are no slouch either, obviously. But my decision in that is we talked about the Eagles-Cowboys game. I feel like if we have Hurts in that game, we win by 14 points. So,
yeah.
But they are scary, and there's never been a time that we're not in a close game with the Cowboys, aside from last year, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the team I want to stay away from the most is the 49ers. And we're going to see, I do believe we will see one of those two teams or the Packers in the championship.
I do too. Right now, where it's as if nothing changed today, we're slated to play Seattle, but Seattle doesn't control their own destiny. They need the Packers. If they were to win, they need the Packers to lose to Detroit. And same thing with Detroit. If they were to win, they need Seattle to lose. So only team controlling their own destiny right now is the Packers for the last seed. And everything else is going to be marked up except for the 2 seed. Even the 1 seed, if we lose, if Niners could take it away from us, but that sucks. I mean, actually, they'll just take it away from the Cowboys, but they could get the 1 seed.
I was literally just thinking this in my head. Can the Cowboys get the 1 seed? They can't, right?
So they can. If
how do they beat us in any tiebreaker?
They beat us. Well, they beat us in the divisional tiebreaker.
Well, we beat them once too.
Yeah,
but they have more divisional games in general.
Yeah, so they haven't lost to. Let me pull it up. They're 4-1 in the division. We're 3-2.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually, because if they win, they would never beat. If they lose, we're in anyway.
Yeah.
But actually, if we lost and the Cowboys, all right. So this is just, I didn't even notice this because technically the 49ers have a better conference record. I didn't know that's how it went. But so technically, if we lost and the Cowboys lost and the Niners won, they would be the 1 seed. We'd be the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Which is, I didn't even think about that. I would only think about losing the division. But we're gonna win. We're gonna have the 1 seed. I'm not worried about that. Let's just go over to our picks. We're good. We're good.
Let's not worry ourselves to death. Let's just get into our picks.
So many scenarios, different things that's gonna happen. It's all gonna come down to this week.
Happy thoughts.
Yes, we control our own destiny. That's all that matters. There's some teams out there that, like the Steelers, they don't control their own destiny. A lot of teams that can't control their own destiny. If you control your own destiny, that's all that matters. Because nothing else matters.
Don't control their destiny. How about the freaking Redskins? I mean, the Commanders, man. Like sorry, apologies. Yeah. I mean, the fact that Ron Rivera didn't know they were in an elimination situation, and to put Carson Wentz in the clutch with his stellar resume in those situations, throws 3 picks and sends them straight to the dumps, and got him off to an early off season. Yeah, poor guy. He needs to give it up or be a backup.
Yeah, he needs to stop trying to be a starter.
Yeah,
he can go sit on the bench somewhere.
It's done.
Or just go rot in Tennessee or something. I don't know.
It's a shame because I really did. You know how much I loved Wentz. It was a shame to see him, fall from glory. But
it's like it was a dream that he was MVP.
Anyway, let's get into the picks. I'll start with mine. For my first pick, I'm going to be taking a bit of a surprise pick, and I'm going to be taking the Raiders plus 9.5 versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And that might sound a little crazy to some people. I really like the way Nathan Peterman played last week. I felt like the guys rallied around him better. I do not necessarily think this is a game that they're going to win, but I just have a feeling they're going to keep it close with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are going to end up winning by like 3 points. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that spread on my first pick. For my second pick, another ugly pick, but I'm going to be taking the Texans plus 2.5 versus the Colts. The Colts have been an absolute dumpster fire. They looked even worse with Foles at the helm because clearly he can only play in Philadelphia. So, I think I feel like to me that's a given. I just think the Texans, and on top of that, I also mentioned those 1-score games that would switch around. The Texans would have 9 wins if they were on the other side of the 1-score games. So the Texans aren't as bad as everybody gives them credit for. I don't think they have a lot of talent, but they fight. So I'm going to go with the Texans on that one. Then for my last pick, I'm going to be going with the Bengals -7 versus the Ravens. Usually I would like to stay away from this game considering they're divisional. The Baltimore tends to have a good defense. They tend to be a scary team most of the time, but since they've had Lamar Jackson out, they have been darn near pitiful. They really just haven't been good. Huntley has not been giving them the boost they need on offense, and with Joe Burrow fighting for seeding right now, I don't see him not lighting them up. So those are my 3 picks for this week.
I like them. I actually, the only problem with the Texans just looking at the records, if they do win this game and the Bears lose, then they don't have the first pick anymore. But I don't know how much that plays. You can't really counter that into the field play. So, but that was just
it's definitely interesting. That's something to think about, especially considering the Bears aren't playing Fields.
Yeah, exactly. So that goes into my first pick. I'm taking the Vikings -7.5. If they want to establish themselves as a 2 seed, which they're fighting for, they need to be able to beat the Bears without Fields. I know it's a divisional game. The Bears have just been pitiful all year, especially without Fields in. So it's gonna be that's Nathan Peterman still starting for the Raiders, by the way.
Oh, apologies. Yeah,
you're good. But yeah, Nathan Peterman actually sucks at football, and it's kind of funny. So I think that the Vikings get one more final rollover. My next pick is going to be a really important game again for Seattle. They're playing the Rams, another divisional game. They're playing at home. I think they covered a 6.5. I think they get it by at least a touchdown. The Rams are just playing to basically what do you call it? Gosh, I'm thinking a term. Just knock out someone. Just a spoiler. They're playing spoiler.
Yeah, they're playing.
Yeah. I couldn't think of the term, but the Rams are just playing spoiler. That's the only reason they're in this game. They have no first round pick this year, so all they're doing is trying to play spoiler for a divisional team. But I think the Seahawks got it together and are able to win by a touchdown. And my last pick is going to be the Packers in Lambeau Field on Sunday Night Football over the Lions. I'm taking 4.5. I think that it's going to be a very close game, but I think that the Packers just are going to have too much firepower at the end. They just been way too hot. They've been looked like a very good team. So have the Lions. This is going to be a very big. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and I think that.
Do I change one of my picks to the Lions to make it a little more interesting? Because I kind of think the Lions might win that one.
Hey, you do you, dude. You want if you change the Texans, I mean, or I'll change it. Yeah.
Yeah, take out my Texans pick. Let's go with the Lions here. Let's make it a little more interesting.
Take the 4.5. Yeah, the Texans. That game is just going to be a crap show. Matt was saying he's going to Texans, and I was like, dude, I'd rather throw up than watch that game. I think I'd rather literally go to my job and watch paint dry.
You guys can keep my pick in mind. I still think that's a lock, but I'm gonna switch my third pick to go into our record. I'm gonna pick that to be the Lions.
Okay, well. There you have it. I mean, let's go Birds, baby. Let's just get this dub and just be able to come on this podcast smiling next week and be able to talk
about sir. Please, man.
Predictions for the playoffs and things that are going to happen within the playoffs. So
exactly. So,
all right, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back again next week, getting ready for the playoffs. Even if we have a bye week, we'll get into something, figure out some topics to talk about. And last but not least, once again, please continue to show your love and support to Damar Hamlin, and continue to keep praying for him as he, fights for his life. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.